episodes. That's tight.
Yeah, we're climbing up there, almost at 300. It's amazing.
What year was it even started?
2019.
Oh, okay. Damn.
Period.
What's 2019? Yeah, it was 2019. It was before. It was
Before
lockdown.
pandemic?
Yeah.
What? Survive COVID.
We're gonna have to get the EST merch.
Yeah, you remember the first one we did was the week that we went to LA with Giselle. Remember I was editing. I was like, "This is our first podcast episode."
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. We're Laurel Canyon.
Who was it? You and Kurt that started it?
Yeah.
Oh, just you two then were doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's tight.
Oh, that we recorded.
Oh yeah.
Oh, days before, because I remember you talking about not having bread.
I was like, it's loud. I had to get this ticket.
Exposed. Well, we have a very special guest with us here today. Our very good friend Jake, aka PinkoRat. Everyone, give it up.
Yeah. What up?
What's up? Thanks so much for sitting down with us, dude.
Of course.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Jason, PinkoRat is a musician. What do you call it? What would you even describe it as?
Like electronic music.
Electronic, all analog.
An electronicer.
I make a lot. Yeah, electronicer. Dude.
An analoger.
Yeah. Just something. I try to stay away from saying shit like composer or something. You know, because my music's pretty fucking.
Composed.
No, it's not. It's pretty like fuck. I just bang it out and make it and record it, so it's not like I don't know.
It's definitely a vibe for real.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
The last time I seen you, I was like, last time I saw you was the release of your last record at the Clipper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
dope.
And
With kids.
Yeah.
Shout out Big Gid. And I was like, I wonder what he's gonna bring for real, because like I've been to your crib for real. I've seen the synth room.
Yeah, it's fucking gross. It's like I don't have a car, but I have a bunch of fucking drum machines.
Hell yeah. And so you got a new record coming out.
Yeah, I have
or
an
EP.
Yeah, coming out Monday, or I guess today. This comes out Monday, so
Period.
Yeah. Never Work out now on all your fucking piss streams and shit.
Yeah.
Throw some pennies at us.
So before we get into all the sense and shit, I know that you came into music as a rapper for real.
Yeah, well, I mean, I came in, but like, yeah, I came into rap. I came into like doing rap music.
Well, what was your origin of how you started making music in general?
Like as a kid. Literally, there's like pictures of me. I would crawl into the kitchen and pull out all the pots and pans and bang on shit. And then like my mom and they put me in piano lessons, which I did for like a couple years. And then I played drums with my friend like through college. And then Big Black, that band, Steve Albini's band? So my buddy was like into all that like punk indie rock shit, and he was like showing me Big Black, and he was talking about like, they use a drum machine instead of a drummer, and I was kind of like, what the fuck is a drum machine, dude?
That's all you had to do back in those days for me, was like sneak a drum machine in there.
I didn't even know what it was. I was like, this shit sounds so fucking hard and crazy. And then he bought a drum machine, which I just took from him and never gave back. And then that was like kind of how I got into like making beats actually. But I used to do spoken word and like poetry. So then that's how I like started doing shows and like touring actually. Like we would go to other cities and like perform fucking spoken, which is, I know it is what it sounds
fire,
like. It's
real.
insane though. So like that's how I got into like doing like live shows and like building a network in other cities and shit. And then Kurto was like, when I moved to Denver, I met Brent.
Because where are you originally from?
Colorado.
Okay.
All around Colorado.
Oh yeah, so moving to Denver, that's like when they moved to Chicago.
Yeah. Well, like, I technically grew up in Denver, but like in a south suburb of it.
Yeah, same here.
And then I went to the mountains for like 5 years, and then was a ski bum, went to school and shit. Cool. Came back to Denver, met my buddy Brent. Who's made all the Curta records with me, produced them all, mixed them all with me. Like he's, like my dude. But so yeah, then like I'd been doing spoken word and all this shit with my friends in college, and we would like travel around and do that. And then I was like, wanted to make music with it. So it just it was like a weird natural progression, because most people that are like doing rap shit, they have like a whole different lineage of like their rap, Like I listened to like mainstream rap when I was like a kid. Like in middle school, I would be listening to like Nas and Jay-Z and shit like that. And of course, fucking Eminem.
Yeah.
But then like in high school and onwards, I was just listening to like weird indie rap. I discovered like Atmosphere, like all that weird shit, like Bus Driver, whatever.
Period. Okay.
So I came into rap like I didn't give a shit about any mainstream rap. I was like, that stuff's all whack. All my guys are telling me like it's all about doing, you know. And then but I wasn't like a rap kid. I was like I was like a writer. I went to school for writing. I was always writing. So I was like this weird fucking poet. So I don't know. My rap shit, I feel like it never really fit, but I still like it because it's like unique and like authentic.
Hell yeah.
And then Brent and I were making like electronic music. He kind of like brought me into that world. And then I was already into drum machines and shit. So
Jamal always telling me that about the story of how y'all met each other for real.
Oh, in Colorado. Yeah.
He was like, I met Jake in Colorado for every time your name called me, I know, gang.
The fucking
My Jake?
My Jake probably does say My Jake, dude. He's a sicko, bro.
That's the only Jake.
We fucking the booker that booked that show, like he ran this DIY venue called Flux Capacitor forever. Legendary, like dude, and one of my best friends. He hit me up and he's like, you should play this show with Grims and Black Knight. These guys that were booking a show, you kind of sound like them. And I listened to it and I was like, we don't sound like each other at all. But I would totally do that show. And I went and I met Jamal and Rob. We were just like immediately hit it off. And then when I came to Chicago, I was doing a tour and I was playing like Chicago and Detroit. And they played both those shows with me because they had like people in Detroit and in Chicago.
Okay.
And then I played a couple shows with them in Chicago. I would always like try to play with them, you know, like. So yeah, that is how we met. It's crazy. Seems so long ago.
Cause y'all got a group together. Y'all still doing Good Hive?
I don't know, dude.
Check out Good Hive. They got a song called Candy that's out everywhere, and that shit.
It's not out everywhere.
It's not out everywhere.
I thought it was.
What happened to it?
I don't even know. You have to ask. I mean, that shit came down because of some weird account stuff.
Damn, I didn't even know that was down.
Yeah,
but the video
bro.
still up?
No, the video's still up.
Okay.
The video is fire. I got a funny story to tell you about.
I think the last time I really talked to him about that project was like he was like, all right, on whatever Saturday or whatever, I'll come and we can like pay for the mastering. And then something came up or whatever. You know, Jamal's in his own time zone.
Yeah, man. Where is Jamal?
Where is Jamal?
That's in
his catchphrase.
Jamal's standard time.
Yeah,
dude.
man. If you guys went to Bailey's party, we had like a whole moment with that song because I fucking love that song and it's on my favorites. And I realized every time I clicked on that shit that it would just skip to the next song. That's why I said it's not on streaming anymore, at least on Apple Music, because it's still on my library, but every time I click on it, it just goes to the next song.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but check out the video though. It's really good. I fucking love that song.
Yeah, we have some great songs for sure.
Oh yeah, man. How did you get? Well, I know that we're like going more into like when you stepped away from rapping, but how did you get the rapper name? Kurta, yeah.
From like a sci-fi book.
Okay.
Kurta is like a mechanical calculator from like way back in the day. It's like a Russian mechanical calculator, and I just like thought it was cool.
Sick.
And I always tell people this shit, but I'm like mechanical stuff. Like I have a brother that collects typewriters. Like I think mechanical shit, there's like a weird moment in human history where like if we had just stayed in that mechanical world, you know, like steampunk.
For real,
like,
yeah, hell
like you
yeah.
read those old like a 70s sci-fi book that's like a steampunk book, and they're like walking around in mechanical spiders and shit. It's like
wow,
I feel like
West.
if we had really stayed in the mechanical shit instead of being like, oh, touch screens and social media, we'd be like in such a cool like our pizza right now would be coming on like a fucking
for real
fucking Da Vinci copter or something.
And it's like because like you know like niggas on the internet like conspiracy motherfuckers be like, yeah, that's so they can control everything, because if I had a gas engine, couldn't nobody control when my car was on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And that is true for real.
Like
mechanical shit just be working for real. Like it's not a matter of like what's wrong with this shit, something shorted.
And it's like knowledge to fix. Like that's like a thing with John Deere now. Like they all have like chips and computer parts and these like tractors on farms, and farmers can't fix their own shit anymore. So they have to call a fucking dude. It's like the printer ink shit.
Yeah,
you know? Shit's fucking crazy.
Like with the cars and shit, G. That's why I had, that's why I had to get a new car last year for real, G. Because be like. I talked my shit up there, and they were like, well, my brake lights was on, my brakes was fucking up and shit. And they were like, it's a problem with the computer. It's gonna be $5,000 to fix. I was just like, what? We just can't fix the brakes. Like no matter what brakes we put on there, like the computer is messed up. So like,
That shit's crazy, dude.
Yeah, I'm like, how I get messed up? It's not like my car had a computer in it.
Yeah, and I feel like it would like being a mechanic is like a real trade. You like learn all this shit. You're like, oh yeah, I fixed a '81 Volvo one time that had this same problem, and now it's just like, oh, I plug in my fucking whatever cable and upload this shit, and
Right.
it's like
update the. Yeah.
Humans we're fucked, man.
So you stepped away from the rapping and you went more electronic. How did you get there? You said that one of your homies put you on kind of to the.
Yeah. The dude I'd done all the Curtis shit with, Brent, and all my friends in Denver, like I came out of like this scene. We would do like DIY warehouse shows and like DIY tours, and like it was all like weird. Like I was the only person in that kind of realm that I was in. Not the only person, but like I would do shows where it's like it wasn't like a rap show. It would be like a show at a warehouse with a bunch of weird experimental music. And I think of Curta as that. I think of it as like experimental music. You know?
Okay.
I just was like a writer and a performer already doing spoken word, so I kind of added this electronic music to it with Brent, and you know we did that forever. And it's like so that we didn't like during COVID. He moved to Houston and I moved to Chicago. And then during COVID, we put out like an EP. That's kind of the last thing we've done. I would never like put a nail in the coffin of Curtis shit, you know? Like we still have made stuff and whatever, but I kind of, when I moved to Chicago, wanted to do more production. That's like the shit with Jamal. Me and my buddy Glennon, like we produced a record with Getty, and then I produced a record with Getty.
Yeah, shout out Getty. Yeah, him up here.
Yeah, shout out Sarah Getty.
Jamal was on that album too. So I've been like, I was just
the
trying
one
to
that was like a story.
Yeah, the Universe.
Yeah,
album.
the Universe one. Yeah.
I still have a couple vinyl of that, dude. If people want to message me for it, I'll sell one for like $110. No,
period.
I won't sell it at all. No, I'm just joking. But so yeah, I just wanted to do more production. It's not like really quitting Curta or something. Like Brent and I are, I think, gonna always make music. That's like one of my best friends in the world. You know, we're just in different cities, so it's like I don't work that well remote. I never am like the kind of person like to send a beat pack or like work over. I'm just not good at that. You know, it's always been like in the room. Like I said, I used to play drums. Like that's how I learned everything. It was like my buddy was learning guitar. My buddy Zach, the dude I stole my drum machine from, dude. And I was, you know, so it's like I'm like that. I'm just that kind of person.
No, I feel
you.
You. Like when I used to just rap, I used to be like, send me the beat pack, but and motherfuckers would tell me all the time, like, no, you just gotta come over, you gotta make something. And I didn't really understand it until I started really making beats for real.
Yeah.
And like at this point, I was like, if I'm working on something by myself, that's for me.
Yeah, for real.
If I'm sitting around, I'm the only one doing it. This is gonna be my song for real. I'm not gonna just be sitting there like, let me make something for so and so right now.
Especially like in the place where music's at now, with like AI is making shit that's like just as dope as anybody or whatever. It's like maybe the most human part of this shit is collaboration. If I bounce an idea off Bailey and she bounces an idea back, it's like I don't expect that.
Yeah, and that's literally how.
But I
it
like
for
it,
real.
and we're like on the same page, and we can only tell we're on the same page through this weird shit that we're making. You know, so
For sure.
Yeah, that's really had like is period. That's the reason I like love doing it for real. Cause like I was telling Jamal yesterday, Jamal came over with he was like, I got something in mind. He came over with a Beach Boys sample.
Perfect.
And I was like, oh, I guess I could try to flip this shit. And I started flipping it, and like he had it like planned out. He was like, all right, we'll take this vocal part. I want to hear this vocal. Then I'm gonna say this. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna cook with it or whatever. And I ended up not doing that shit. And Jamal's like, wait, this is actually hot for real. I'm like, yeah, it's hot. And I was like, it's crazy because like I wasn't expecting you to come over here with a Beach Boys sample, and you already had what you thought the song was gonna be in your mind, but like we came and made something completely different.
Yeah,
Once you got together for sure.
and then it's dope. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's just special, man.
So what did you do? You just rode that drum machine that you stole that you never gave back? That was like your first equipment? Or like how did you approach like your first kind of setup?
Like I had a guitar when I was a kid, and so I still like had shit like that around. Like I had, whenever I go to thrift stores, I would always like get a couple keyboards, like shitty keyboards and stuff. And then I remember I met some guy who was touring at a show one time. I should remember his band name was like Paleo, I believe. Okay. But he was like one of those guys that would tour like 200 days a year and play like tiny shows all year. Just him and a guitar and like a laptop. And he was super cool. I reached out to him through fucking MySpace, dude.
Nice.
Dating myself.
What a time.
And Yeah, he hit me back and he's like, "Oh, don't go to Guitar Center and buy a bunch of shit. Like, get a 4-track recorder." And so I got a 4-track for like $60 on eBay, and I just started like dicking around with that. I didn't make a ton of stuff on it, and then eventually I got like Logic on my computer and just like started kind of mucking through it. And then when I made Curtis stuff with Brent, like when I met Brent, I had an album recorded. It was pretty terrible, and he was going to school for music composition, I want to say. And so I kind of watched him do shit forever, and he was learning and I was like learning as well. So it's like, that's just sort of what, like, I just picked it all up as I went. I was always just like, I need a project so I can book shows, so I can do this. And then along the way you like learn shit, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. Do you think that VSTs or like computer instruments will ever have the same sound as analog?
I honestly, and I'm like a person that I like making music with hardware because I enjoy, like, I think the era that I'm from, or like I said, I was like banging on pots and pans. And I also, like, when I played video games as a kid, it was like fucking, you know, like go to an arcade and like press buttons. For me, the reason I like making music with hardware is because I feel like I'm in a conversation. I don't know what I'm really in a conversation with, but I feel like the way I interact with it, I feel like I can talk, if that makes sense. I have kind of like a weird autistic approach to making shit, you know? I'm not like, that's why I say, like, I'm not like one of these composers that's like smart about shit.
Yeah.
His ears were burning, dude, so he talked that, dude. But
where is Jamal? Continue on.
But no, but I want to say, like, I don't think the digital stuff or anything, I think it already sounds just as good, if not better. You can make music that's way better.
Because you know, like, some people be like,
I'm not a purist.
It's a warmth to the analog.
I'm not a purist, dude. The music is like the red light district of like all arts. So it's like, let's fuck in the hallway. Do it however you want to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, because I'm just showing Evan, because, you know, Evan just hopped on Logic and shit. I'm telling him, like, gee, you can do shit it don't matter how you get to the sound, for real.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You like VS, Brent, who did Curta with me, like, he does tons of shit with his laptop, and he's fucking incredible with it. You know what I mean? For me, it's just, like I said, it's like feeling and like touch.
That's why I want to start doing it more, because I be seeing Gids with his MPC and shit.
He's crazy.
And like, he doing the same shit that I be doing on the computer, but since he doing it in a different way, like, he do it in a different order, and it's like it make. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He be cranking them out fast as hell. I'm like, oh, you cranking out because you really feeling it for real, like. Cause like when I be playing my VSTs, I be bouncing and shit.
Yeah.
So I'm like, if you putting it together like that, like.
But you could do that like on the VSTs, like with a MIDI controller.
Yeah.
It's just what I think. I always say whatever works. Like the kid, there's a kid right now making music that's better than all of our shit, and he's probably using a fucking iPhone.
I know,
with like a free app. You know what I mean? It's like
trial shit.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Use whatever you want.
Yeah, cause I be thinking, like, if I'm doing it in a different way, different shit might come up out of me. You feel me?
Yeah, that's true. I agree with that. Yeah, that's how I justify like buying tons of drum machines.
Yeah, to get different kind of sounds. Hell yeah.
Yeah, yo.
Fuck it, dude.
I be trying to, like, I need to get some actual hardware. It's just because I'm like an internet motherfucker that been cracking shit since ever, for real.
Period.
So like, it's real hard for me to spend some money on that.
To get this shit. Yeah, I'm finna get the illegal
I'll be like,
crack version.
yeah, I could just crack this shit for real.
Hell yeah.
But like, it's a different. I feel like I would make different shit if I had more instruments, for real.
Try it. I would just say, like, try it before you buy it. You know? I've made the
I would say I'm gonna get MPC. Crazy.
Come play a drum machine if you want ever. Like a
Period.
Hell yeah.
You can fuck around.
I got that one. What's the one that you left here, Jamal? The 404. I get that 404 sampler, and I got to get the volume knob is broke on it. I got to get the knob. But when I started it, I'm like, yeah, I'm finna. One. Yeah, because I be seeing people play their whole set off that thing, for real.
I toured the 404 for years. That shit's amazing, man. Like,
do you know how to fix your shit?
I mean, I just got to get the...
Not you. I'm asking Jay.
I would be like, maybe point air duster at it and then call someone smarter than me.
Fair enough.
I don't know. A lot of times knobs that get noisy, sometimes you just air dust that shit and it works.
I don't know. It just like twists all the way. Just the other side. Like the actual knob is broke. I took the thing off and tried to move it. Like, you know, the little metal thing that be actually connected to the shit?
Yeah.
I tried to take the knob off and move that, and that shit just turning, for real.
Oh, fuck, dude. Yeah.
You ever fucked with any kind of circuit bending or anything? Or is that too
I
out
have friends
there?
that are into that shit. Yeah,
Facts.
that's not too out there for sure. I have a lot of friends that are into that stuff. I like it. I had one of my friends I had a band I used to perform with sometimes, and they had like a Game Boy and they had like circuit bench shit and they had that LSDJ program, which is like a tracker program, and like also our buddy, circuit bench shit is rad.
Oh yeah, I wish I could. That shit be.
My
low-key
dad,
confusing.
my dad had like a little moment with that, like because like I'm like a thrifty girl, so I love going to the thrift store for the longest. And like when my dad started taking me, he would start going over into the toy section and like grabbing all these toys, and then like on our way home, he would be like telling me what his like intentions were. Like he taught me how to like use a soldering iron and shit, and like. I did that for like a science fair project, and then like I remember seeing him do the soldering, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he like bust open like the old McDonald's shit, like the spinny like like the one with the he
Wait,
was like
your dad was like circuit bending like toy instruments.
that's so sick, dude. Yeah, it was giving
That's
like Coco
fucking
Rosie
sick.
type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just making it sound weird, taking a little like voice thing out of like a Tickle Me Elmo.
Yeah.
And just taking that sound thing out of it and like opening it up and
Damn.
like, yeah,
I
he was
have
doing
tons of
shit like
buddies
that.
do that. That shit's fucking sick, dude. That
Yeah,
stuff
I
is
definitely
rad.
thought it was weird because I was like in high school when he was doing this.
Was
I was
he a
like, oh my
musician?
gosh. Yeah, he was like, he's always fucked around with it. Like I grew up listening to like Thomas Dolby was like his fucking jam and shit. So
I
like
don't know if I recognize that name.
my dad, like she blinded me with science.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know, but like my dad always kind of associated that sounded like craft work and shit,
Oh,
like
yeah,
all
craft
the
work's
computer
fucking
shit,
crazy.
stuff like that. So like that was always like super nerdy shit, but like yeah, he was like had DJing background and like played the trumpet, but he did
That's
circuit
tight,
bending
dude.
too, out of nowhere, just
That's
like
sick.
different sounds and shit. Yeah,
That sounds fun. I feel like I'm always just like, I would electrocute myself probably.
Yeah, I was
For
literally,
real.
I was literally gonna say I'll burn myself.
you just feel a little like oh shit,
Yeah.
like all right, anyway, back to where we are.
But that shit's really cool though. I've seen some really cool fucking projects, and yeah, I have tons of buddies. I've done shows with people that play with that shit. It's fucking awesome. Dude.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
I like all that weird shit.
Fuck yeah, man.
All right. Well, hell, pizza almost here, so let's do a break.
Oh yeah.
What
Shout
song?
out service fees.
What song? Which one you want? You want to play? Want to play Bodywork or King Bathtub?
If you want a chill one or a hateful one, yeah, play King Bathtub.
Want to play King Bathtub?
I like how that sounds.
All right, so this is out already for it's not off the new project.
It is on it, yeah.
But it's
just
gonna
a
be on the
single.
project?
Yeah, it's gonna be on the project.
Hell yeah,
I got a project coming out today. Oh, I said that already.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's all good. This is us talking to y'all in the
I don't
future.
wanna
Y'all
say it
finna
again,
listen to
dude.
this on Monday, but that shit will be out today. When you guys listen to this episode, it'll already be out. So make sure you guys listen and then you go ahead and look it up.
hell yeah. And this is King Bathtub Meth by PinkoRat. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Dang.
Yes, sir. We're back. That was King Bathtub Meth by PinkoRat, man. How? Why that name? King Bathtub Meth.
Cause it's kind of like a dubby song, so it's sort of like a sly little.
And you said math, right? Because Perry
No,
and his
meth.
No, meth.
Oh, so you did say meth. Okay. I was like, with
you
Perry's
heard right.
Chicago accent sometimes, I just had to clear it up, but continue.
Bathtub math is that's interesting though. I like that too.
Just in the bathtub doing
Yeah, just doing your
equations.
fucking homework. Writing into Steam. King Tubby, I guess. It's like a little King Tubby. Name.
Okay.
That's like one of my favorites. So
While we breaking down names, why PinkoRat?
PinkoRat? I just like the word rat. And I like those words just go together well, but also like a pinko and like a rat. They're both kind of like these like out of the industry, like can't get work in Hollywood type of names. I feel like.
What is pinko? I don't
Like
know
a
what that
pinko is like an old like slang for communists. Like in like the
Oh, for real?
yeah, if you read like old noir
I was
stories
just
and
nodding,
shit,
I was
they'll be
like-
like, oh, like he's a pinko or like he's a little bit pink or something.
For real?
you know? Yeah, like like all the Red Scare and
Yeah,
shit like that.
all of those war like racist like
Yeah.
names. It'd be shit I'd never heard before.
Oh, it's
I was
crazy,
telling Bailey
dude.
I was just watching Band of Brothers, and I was like, they was calling the Germans Krauts. I was like, I've never heard that
Like
before.
sauerkraut.
Yeah, that shit's crazy.
I've never heard that shit
Oh,
before.
really? You never? Kraut's a good one. I read like these old noir books and shit from like the 50s. So I was reading a book and it was talking about like back in the day, because you could get in trouble back then if you're a politician.
Yeah.
Obviously doing gay
the Red
stuff.
Scare.
If you're doing gay stuff, if you're doing communist stuff, if you were like with a black person, you could get in trouble. And then I heard someone that was hooking up with black people called a fucking mud shark.
Wow.
I was like, I had never even heard that. She's like,
They be real.
like if you read those old books, you see some wild shit.
Yeah, they used to be wild creative back then.
For real.
Wild creative.
It's giving scared, just like how those people are scared. You know what I'm saying? Talking in code and shit.
Oh, it's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It'd be like doing code to call somebody something and like no one will know except for you, scary ass motherfuckers.
Yeah. But Pinko, like in Hollywood, that's pretty like common term. It's like it's like a slang for a communist back in the day, I guess. But I don't know. I'm just, I feel like it's just a cool fucking. I wanted to like make a word that wasn't a word. I just used 2 words and.
If you had it on a shirt, would it be like pink with the little dash? O dash.
No, just one word, just Pinko.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
It just like looks like a weird word.
Hell yeah,
I like that.
So is this your first like solo shit that you've done since you did the Curtis shit?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This is just, it's cool because like I would always do live shows and we would play with like hardware and like bring our gear and do it, and I'll be doing like vocals with it and like had like a microphone going into all these effects and a microphone going to the PA and then like playing with hardware and all the shit Brent was doing. And so now it's just like, I feel like I'm just like doing the thing that was always my thing, but just focused on that,
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
What's your favorite machine?
Drum machines?
Yeah.
I like, I learned a lot of stuff like using these drum machines by this, I think they're Swedish, but they might be Swiss or some shit. I don't know, but they're called Electron. They're like my favorite. They're really kind of expensive. Now they have a bunch of different ones you can get, but yeah, I have one called a machine drum from like 2001, which seems like super vintage now,
Yeah.
Because we're fucking old, but
We grown.
yeah. But I like Electron. Their shit. That's like kind of how I learned to like make a lot of stuff on. And that's what I like at that show you saw. I had like an Electron drum machine, and like their shit's cool because you can write your sequences and you can hold down a step of the sequence and like lock parameters, so you can like change, like if you had like 4 kick drums, for instance. Like one of them, you could change any parameter and it would lock in. So it'd be like you could change the tuning, you could change whatever.
Yeah, that's the shit I'd be worried about. Like I was like, do I have to read the manuals? Like I don't know how to work. I don't know how to work none of this shit.
It depends on what
real.
you get. Like if you got like an 808, like that shit's pretty straightforward. You know, like because everything's just on the fucking channel and you can do it all right there. Some of them have like menu diving. I don't like a lot of that, but I don't know. I like a lot of like. I like most of the drum machines I've played with. I feel like are fun.
Because I've been really thinking about getting one of those new MPCs, the ones that Gig got for real. I've been really thinking about getting one of those for real.
Yeah, you should. MPCs are awesome
To like start off on and shit.
Yeah, fucking Prince had an MPC. Like Kanye made all his shit on fucking MPCs. But like, MPCs are, especially for sampling. Like I don't really sample much of anything. Like I don't really work with samples. I just like record synthesizers basically. But if you like sampling and stuff and you're flipping samples and adding things to, like, MPCs are fucking incredible.
Cause that shit is so cool to me, gang. Like I was watching remember 2 Chainz used to have that show Most Expensivest. You ever seen that shit?
I don't know if I've seen that shit. That sounds awesome.
Well, like he just go and just like look at expensive shit. And there was one episode where he went to the dude from Devo's crib.
Oh shit.
And this motherfucker, they were like, he has the biggest like synth collection.
Probably had like a wall of fucking knobs.
Nigga, he had a floor.
Yeah.
He had a whole floor. He was just bringing shit out. Like they've only made one of these. He brought one out. This is what they did the sounds for Star Wars and R2D2. He was just playing that shit.
Wow.
Yeah. That's cool. I saw a video once of like Moby showing off.
Yeah, I'm sure he got some crazy shit too.
It was like there's a video you could find of it just Moby's fucking drum machines, and it's just a room of like every like he's got drum machines like the size of a table. Like this was like one of the first ones. Like it's just like it's so crazy.
Yeah. Or like Rick Rubin. I've seen Rick Rubin's like synth walls and shit.
Oh, I bet his shit's crazy.
And to go back just a little bit, I know you said that like you wanted to when you switched your sound, you wanted to like get it together so you could start doing shows. When did you start doing shows? Like, have you when did you start doing solo shows?
Yeah, by yourself.
By yourself.
Oh, like as Pinko Rat?
Yeah.
I did like a couple shows last year. Those were like the first ones.
For real?
Okay.
I couldn't tell.
You were probably
Neither
at the
could
first
I.
one. Yeah.
What was the first one?
At Clipper.
Oh yeah.
That was probably like the first. Yeah, it was like the first one.
That was first. Damn, I couldn't tell for real. That shit was rocking for real because like,
oh yeah, thank you.
Because like it's still like ambient and like set a mood, but you got a beat behind it though.
Yeah.
Because like I remember like going to like mad like noise shows and shit when I was in college.
So I would do noise shows. Oh,
And like, and I ain't gonna lie, like
dude.
I kind of felt like I was in college and I just like wanted to be different, and I was there, and I was like, do I really fuck with these sounds?
Yeah. It's interesting to think about that because I make like experimental music and I've always been into that, but it's like I also really like if I'm really talking to someone, I'm like I just think about it as making a beat in my mind because I like rhythm and I like fucking drums and I want it to always like have that. So when sometimes I'm like trying to make a song that's like an ambient song but with a drum machine, which is like doesn't make sense, but it's like that's kind of what I try.
Yeah,
because
that's
so
exactly
it's cool that you
what,
felt that.
That's exactly
like,
what I get for real. Cause dog, I done went to so many fucking noise shows and shit. I'm just here trying to look cool for real. Because like, do I really like this music? I was like, I can't say that I do.
The first ever Curtis show in Denver we did, and it was Brent and I it was us and then it was a bunch of noise artists. And the guy that booked the show at this like venue, he was like, oh, you fit perfect with all these like experimental noise artists. We were like, cool, that makes sense. Win did it. They had like, one guy had like a phone dial in his setup, like all this shit. And it was just drone music, you know? And then we went up and I was like, you know, just fucking screaming, talking shit, and the room just fucking emptied out. You know? But I still like, I've always liked stuff like that, like conceptually. And I listen to some ambient music that I really like and stuff, you know? I just, I think there's like I think there's like a time and a place where it's actually cool to go to shit that like you don't really know if. I still go to things and I'm like, I don't know if I like that, but like I appreciate it.
Yeah, exactly,
You know what I mean?
exactly. I gotta appreciate it.
Like, sometimes you're at a show and you're like, oh, this motherfucker sucks. You know what I mean? But I don't really feel that way if someone's like making music. I could feel that way sometimes maybe at like a show where someone's like, I don't know. I'm probably more judgmental about like writing than I am about music because it feels so subjective. You know what I mean? Like writing, I'm like, that's a dumb idea or something. You know? But like, I think it's cool to go to shit like that with music and be like, oh, I was at a ton of like weird drone shows and shit, and I was like, this is crazy.
Like I used to just like think that I didn't understand. I was like, maybe I just don't understand it for real.
I mean, it's just like
but it's just like
sound.
it's just like what I like for real. Like I need my shit to have a beat behind it for real.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, I do really appreciate because I've seen you perform a few times, and I really appreciate like the. And I hate to compare you off of somebody right away, but like it's giving like Panda Bear because like that's always somebody that I saw when he did his solo shit. Like start with a sound, and then build another sound on top of it, and then like by the time we get to like the meat and potatoes of it all, it's like this beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying?
I be
and
doing
like
my hair like this.
just like exposing
I'm fucking going like this, dude.
yeah, exposing the crowd to like the beginning sounds. It's like literally like it makes me feel like I'm in the studio with you when you were going to make the song that I would hear if I was like looking up your music. Like the way it builds up is such a amazing thing because like I don't make music, so like I love how it's broken down like that. Like it starts with one sound and then like you add another thing.
Yeah.
And then you add another thing and
It's,
then finally it's a full, but I feel like I can hear all of the sounds separately because I was able to hear them separately. Like you gave them each sound space and a beautiful layer to it. So like, I love
dope.
that, man.
Well, whenever I would make music with other people, they would always be sitting there while I'm like playing with the drum machine and then adding like a synth line. And they'd always be like, this is so cool just to watch you like layer that up.
Yeah.
So with like PinkoRat, it's like all these collaborators have told me like, that's the shit. So with this, I'm just like, I like being like, especially shows, I'd mostly just improv. I might have an idea or I might have a patch built, but it's like, I like the idea of like that vulnerability.
That's literally what I was going to ask you.
I like the nudity of like a fucking kick drum just being like, and everyone's like, what the fuck is this? You know, and then you can kind of like, it's like, I've performed forever, you know, like I used to do theater and all this shit when I was a kid. So I like drawing people in. It's like, to me, like that's my most influential moments have been like watching somebody do something. So if I'm doing something, I want to try to find a way to like pull people into it or do some shit, you know.
That's
I like how you said
Mission
that,
accomplished.
like that vulnerability for real. Cause like I was literally gonna ask you like, if you like had a set when you played, do you have a set in mind or do you just let it go improv? But like when people see that you vulnerable up there, that make them engage more for real.
Yeah, the couple of shows as PinkoRat that I've done, I've gotten like really cool responses and like people, like even just hearing you say that, it's like, damn, that's really cool. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I've had a lot of people tell me shit like that, and it's like that's what's fun about it for me is being like, I don't exactly know where this is gonna go, and this might get weird, and like, but I also practice a shitload, but it's always like different when I practice. But that's
that's what I was gonna ask you. Does it sound exactly the same when you practice?
No, I like find, especially like with I have like this different effects setup now that's like all like Euro rack shit, just like a couple things, and it's like impossible for me at least to like do that the same every time, you know. And I like that. It's like that's what, like, you go to see a band. My favorite part of shows when I would go see bands and shit was always like them coming out on stage. And when I was a kid, I would be like watching the bassist like put his guitar on.
Hell
and shit.
yeah.
I'd be like, I love all that shit, you know. And I've worked as like a technician and you know, done a bunch of like shows as AV techs and stuff. I like that part of like shows, like seeing it like come together, you know.
Because like as a viewer, like as a like spectator, I can tell that like that's in my mind. Like, is he doing this like off rip, like off improv and shit, and like that draws you in. So it's like forcing yourself in a vulnerable state in order to engage with the audience. You know what I'm saying? Like take the audience on a ride with you for it. But in order to get you there, I gotta like be okay with seeing like you seeing what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what's cool. It's like if I accept the fact that like I don't make music for everybody, that's fine. But at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna waste my time. Like I want to have a moment, you know. I want to see if I can have a moment and try to like fuck around and have fun. And so if people come with me on that, that's fucking rad, you know. That's like really fun.
Yeah. Hell yeah, because that's literally everything I felt when I'm watching your show. I feel like I'm on a ride with you. Like it's almost like it's
at the fucking water park, man.
Are you? I know you said it a little bit before, but are you threatened at all by the change of how everything artistically that could be turned digital? Like, you know, are you threatened by the AI shit? Like, as PinkoRat goes forward, like, do you think you're going to have to try to engage more with it to try to, or are you going to be able to, and I don't even really know how to frame the question, but like, you know, AI, it's just like, it's overwhelming all pockets of creativity. So it's just like, do you entertain it? Do you indulge a little bit? Do you try to learn a little bit of that? Or do you think that like the organic sound, the way you just talked about it, that vulnerability and just building it in front of everyone, do you think that that'll like last the test of time or whatever, I guess?
I mean, I don't think anything will really last the test of time because it's like old shit's always going to suck compared to new shit in a way. Obviously, I like old stuff and I've studied it forever and I came up learning about different things, but it's like, I don't know. The machines that I play with have elements in them of like probability triggers and stuff. So like I was saying earlier, I'm like in a conversation with it and that feels organic and authentic to me. If it doesn't feel that way, then I'll use another thing or I'll do it another way. And maybe it would feel organic and authentic for me to like work with AI, or maybe it feels organic and authentic for somebody, you know. The images and stuff that I see, like those look stupid. The music, some of the music that I've heard sounds fucking incredible and it's insane, but it doesn't scare me like any more than just getting online and seeing how much dope shit everybody's doing scares me anyways.
Right.
Like, I've been dealing with that emotionally for so long anyways, you know what I mean? It's like,
for real, yo.
I had to like grow past that and be like, you know, what do I want to intentionally like use social media for? And what do I want out of this? And like, is this a place where I hang out with my friends? Like, no, this is like a fucking, I feel like it's like a newspaper. Like I just want to put my little advertisement there and post my shit.
That's a great way to
like,
put it.
Come fucking, you know, see me or whatever the fuck you use the newspaper for, you know?
Yeah.
But,
And like, there's so many different ways to like use that shit. Like when I use AI with my like workflow, like it's not to like make a song with it. It's be to like separate the stems.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like I think
Yeah, it would be like
it's a tool. Yeah, it's like
to get a sound like that. I'm gonna use the sound. It's so many different ways to use that shit.
Yeah. So for me, like the reason I don't feel threatened by it is because I'm not like a big business that's making a lot of money. First of all,
For sure.
and second of all, I like to make shit. You know, I've always just been really compelled to like create shit, and it's like that's why I do create shit. You know.
Cool.
So fuck all that. I don't
Hell
care.
yeah.
If I felt like cool making stuff with AI, then I would do it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm like in 20 years, I might be having sex with AI or something. You know? I'm not gonna whatever, dude. Like,
I mean, well put, man. For
it's
real.
like whatever. You know?
Bro, what artists have influenced your sound as PinkoRat?
Oh shit, man. Well, like I was saying, I think the most important electronic artist ever, like the Beatles of this shit, is King Tubby. You know, just because the way he like played a mixer. You know what I mean? Like he really.
And where is he from? You got to let me know because I don't know who that is.
King Tubby.
Like, oh, go ahead.
Oh no.
No, you go ahead.
King Tubby's like the fucking man. He's like the OG like dub. Like he was like making dub shit. Like he kind of created that whole realm.
Okay.
You know? He's a shit. Yeah. He I think he made speakers and shit too. Like
real?
He like made his own speakers. Like he knew how to do so much shit, and then he would take samples of like reggae bands and all this shit, and he would chop it up on tape and splice it and fucking like make his own dub music like with like a mixer, you know. So when you listen to his stuff, it's like I guarantee you've heard King Tubby.
Okay,
you know? I'm positive you have, yeah. But him, and then like contemporary people. I like a lot of shit. You know, I listen to like a ton of different shit all the time. Actors is probably like people that know me, like my real friend, like my close friend. They're always like, they know that I like love actors because I listen to that dude shit like
Actors,
actress, yeah,
actress,
like a UK DJ
Yeah,
producer.
Shit.
No, there's nobody knows shit anymore. There's like so
shit.
much. When I talk to my friends about like rap music now, it's insane how much like fucking shit there is. Dude. It's like good lord.
In different lanes and shit. Like, it didn't get to the point that, like, I used to be scrolling down Instagram and be like, oh, that was hard. It'd be the motherfuckers I'll never see again.
Yeah.
I was like, this shit hard. Like, it's not even about how hard the music is, though. Everybody make hard shit.
Yeah. It's crazy how much good stuff there is out there.
Who else? Anybody else? Anyone who probably isn't in the realm of the music you make as PinkoRat? Like, do you have any like influences for music in general?
Oh yeah, in like bands and shit. Like so, I was like into, like I was saying earlier. We were saying like I was listening to like mainstream rap when I was like probably like, I don't know. As like a white dude from the suburbs, I was probably too young when I was listening to that shit. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have any cultural context for it, and they were rapping about crazy shit. You know what I mean? Like, why am I listening to music about just fucking murdering people? You know what I mean? And then I'm going downstairs and like eating a meatloaf or something, watching The Simpsons. But so that was like my thing, and then indie rap, and then all that kind of led to like indie rock. And the dude I stole the drum machine from, shout out Zach, he's in a band called Heck Reckoners in Denver now. He's one of my best friends ever and super talented. I remember he gave me a stack of CDs like this big one time, and that's how I discovered Pavement. That's how I discovered like Sonic Youth. My favorite probably band of all time, and they did have a synthesizer in it, like a 70s synthesizer. This band Perubu, like Pereubu.
Okay,
they're like my favorite like band like songwriters, like shit of all time. Yeah, they came up in like the Husker Du, if you know Husker Du, whatever you do, but. Yeah, so I don't know. I like listen to a lot of bands and shit when I was growing up, and tons of stuff. Yeah.
Hell
yeah, man.
Well, shit. We got anything else?
Make sure you guys check out Never Work. It's gonna be out by the time you guys hear this. Do you have anything before we get out of here? What's next for PinkoRat? Camera here, and here. Tell the people your freaking socials. And if you got anything in the mix, like you working with anybody, you want any honorable mentions?
I would never. I don't want to shout out collaborations because if they don't happen, it's fucked. It
Fair
sucks.
enough.
It's a bad feeling. For
I
me.
feel that.
PinkoRat, PinkoRat. But yeah, I'm doing a bunch of shit. I got this EP coming out today. If you're listening to this on Monday, it's out already. If you're listening on Tuesday,
Hell yeah.
And yeah, just look for me doing shows and posting stupid clips of me playing drum machines.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me, you guys.
Thank you so much, bro. We appreciate you sitting down with us.
Oh, damn, we should talk about boxing.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, Perry comes and watches fights with
me. Watch boxing.
I've been kind of falling off for a few months, though. Tank got a draw in his last fight.
I see it for real.
Yeah.
They say
it was a draw?
The last one.
He got knocked down. Also, he said it was fucking
from his hair.
You saw that.
He said that she braided his hair and the grease from his head went in his eye.
Wait, I did see the response. I didn't know what it was, but I did see the response to the hairstylist talking about, as you can see in this, and it was just a video of him after he got his hair done, and it said something about the grease, but I didn't know where it was
I would have been
from.
like, yeah, I'll put too much grease in there. Because he ain't never going to go to her no more. He probably paid 5 bands for them braids.
I'm fucking crying.
That's funny. We hopefully Canelo fight.
Hopefully, yeah. Who knows? I mean, boxing's so fucked right now, dude. There's so many fights that like get hyped up and people talk shit and then it never happens.
Yeah, like I said the thing, I was like, Canelo finna fight Jake Paul.
Yeah.
And then like you went on the net and he was like, no, it's not finna happen.
Yeah, that's not happening.
I was like, they just announced it
There's
today.
there's so
already.
much shit. And now like that dude, the Riyadh season guy, Turkey Al Sheikh or whatever, him and Dana White are trying to start a box. And last thing I heard was that Dana White and him want to like do away with the Muhammad Ali Act, which has something to do with payment for boxers. So like, I mean, fuck Dana White. Like, if you're a UFC fan, that's cool, whatever. Objectively, that dude's a piece of shit. He pays fighters terribly and stuff. So he's like coming into boxing with this Saudi dude that's in boxing already, like changing it up. So I haven't been paying as much attention because it's kind of hard to be like a fan of it. You know? Yeah, they're so complex and there's so much bullshit to like wade through to just get to like. So like, there's some good fights coming up, and I'll try to watch them, you know. But it's like, damn.
Yeah,
man.
it's more about the act. They make it about the act up until the fight, until the act, except for the actual fight.
Yeah.
Like, how about?
It's like we want good fights.
Like they just
want.
pulling antics, and then acting like they finna fight, and then they don't fight.
Also, I want like boxers to be paid, like UFC fighters. A lot of those guys get like shit money.
Yeah,
and
no,
like,
for real.
Like boxing, it's like I'm glad that those guys are fucking rich. You know what I mean? Like that's a dangerous. That's fucking
For real.
just dangerous.
I didn't realize that UFC fighters get paid shit.
UFC fighters get paid. Look into it.
They get their ass beat, bro.
Get their ass beat.
Oh
Boxing
my
is
gosh.
supposedly more dangerous because of all the head trauma and like the 12 rounds. You know?
It's called CT or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, God.
But yeah, man. So yeah, we'll be watching some fights. Hopefully,
yeah.
this
Yep,
year.
and we'll be at your crib. Thank you again so much. It's been a
of
great
course,
time chopping it up with you. You guys make sure you check out the new project. It's episode 293. We getting up there. It's the face value.